specifically. But again, a lot of the symptoms can be really so the most like common things is like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Okay, let's dig through lots of possible, you know, reasons why.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I am naturopath Fiona Chin, co-founder of Kidney Coach and our supplement range, Genesis, which is designed for people diagnosed with chronic kidney disease to decrease creatinine and improve eGFR levels. And I'm joined again by one of my favorite guests today, the amazing, the wonderful, the fabulous, the Bette Midler sing-along like Lindsey Zirker. I've just been telling her she has to do a rendition of Wind Beneath Our Wings halfway. I'm not sure she's going to come through with the goods. Lindsey is a renal dietitian, published author, and all things fabulous when it comes to renal disease. So let's start high level. Copper mineral, because most people would know it as more a metal and things like that. So tell us copper and the role it plays in the body, and then we'll dive into how that may be important in kidney disease.
Yeah. So copper, it is a mineral that is found in lots of foods, and it is used a lot in our body as a cofactor for lots of different enzymes. And so that's why before we hopped on here, I was joking with you, Fiona, about copper is kind of like the wind beneath your wings kind of situation where it doesn't have like, you know, a lot of spotlight on it, like iron or zinc or phosphorus, but it's still really important and performs a lot of really important tasks. So some of the cofactors that or some of the cofactor roles it plays is in iron metabolism. In order for iron to be transported around, copper is a part of that. And also copper is required for T3 or T4 synthesis, which are your thyroid hormones. It also is a cofactor for the production of some neurotransmitters like norepinephrine, and also for antioxidants like superoxide dismutase, which we don't talk tons about, but it is a big deal. Um, and then it also plays really important roles with gene expression, immune function, and other like lots of different things. So.
And what about toxicity? Is that ever something that you see in clinic where you have a copper toxicity?
I personally have not seen that specifically. Um, but again, a lot of the symptoms can be really generic. I mean, there's the one specific one with the eye that you mentioned, but I feel like some of the symptoms that you're like, whoa, it's like, well, yeah, you really have copper toxicity, not like you're kind of in the danger zone. So the most like common things is like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. So it's like, oh, okay, let's dig through lots of possible, you know, reasons why. It copper toxicity though, it can cause kidney damage. So that is one of the symptoms. And then anemia is the other kind of big one. So if you're looking specifically just signs and symptoms, those are the most common ones.
And Wilson's disease.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is,
Wilson's disease. That's the other one. Yeah.
yeah. So interesting. I had an MS patient, and when we did all her bloods and I tested copper through the roof, and when we went back, Wilson's disease, and all her neurological symptoms. And she had quite massive personality changes, which they were putting down to being copper. And I was like, sorry, not copper, being put down to the MS. And I was like, I think this is Wilson's. Interestingly, again, vegetarian for a very long time, high plant-based diet, old house, old copper pipes, which might not be as big an issue in the US. They changed something in Australia. I think they had to get rid of all the old copper piping, but I think they had an old house with copper piping in it, and then we didn't have any real zinc or iron blocking absorption. So I actually have seen Wilson's disease 2 or 3 times now on testing. And it for
Wild.
them, yeah, wild. And it manifests generally what I've seen, yes, the nausea, but lots of neurological symptoms. So
Yeah, kind of interesting on either end, like whether you're deficient or toxic, neurological situation going on, which makes me
yeah,
wonder too with like that situation, like what was going on with B12, because you see lots of neurological issues with B12 as well. So,
100%, especially in MS. B12 is
Yeah.
the process chain for remyelination.
Yeah,
So
the
yeah,
myelin sheath and all that.
yeah. So yeah, very interesting. So I have seen that, but Wilson's disease, there's a genetic component to that that means that you uptake more copper, right? So that you've got to
Yes.
have a predisposition, hence why I've seen it, because there's been a genetic predisposition in there versus that's the only time I've seen copper toxicity versus a straight copper toxicity for copper's sake versus a genetic disease. So yeah, so if you want to know more about Lindsey, you can head to kidneynutritionalinstitute.org. If you want to know more about what we do, head to www.kidneycoach.com. You'll find us on all social platforms as well, on Instagram and Facebook under the same names. Lindsey, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being part of our community. And Lindsey, as always, thanks again. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Thanks.